The final rounds of the Mazda MX-5 SuperCup saw a 30-car grid descend on the Donington Park National Circuit for 3 cracking races. The first race in particular was a real corker, with Alan Henderson and Paul O'Neill doing battle at the front, while behind them the fight for second in the championship raged. Henderson and O'Neill tripped over each other at the end of lap 1, allowing James Blake Baldwin through into the lead, before Simon Goddard would nudge into the gravel at Coppice. JJ Clements then joined in the fun at the front, while Liam Murphy eased George Lyon into a spin, exiting the final chicane. Henderson drove the champions race, executing a wonderful fight back to challenge for the race lead again, which had recently been vacated by Blake Baldwin after mechanical gremlins again forced him into retirement. Murphy and Clements' fight for second in the points then came to a head at the chicane, damaging both cars. As Henderson and O'Neill fought for the lead, there was more trouble for Clements when contact with George Lyon damaged his rear suspension, forcing him out of the race. On the last lap, Henderson finally found a way underneath Paul O'Neill exiting Coppice to snatch the win, but a time penalty for exceeding the track limits meant he would eventually be classified in 7th. This meant that O'Neill inherited the win from Johnny Greensmith in 2nd place, so they would make up the front row for the second race of the weekend. At the start, John Davies slotted into 3rd behind them, but the battling in the midfield was intense, 3 and 4 abreast into the chicane on lap 1. As O'Neill pulled into a commanding lead, Henderson joined Greensmith and Davies to fight for second. However, contact exiting Coppice sent Greensmith on a high-speed spin into the barriers and retirement. Goddard and Clements bounced back well from their Race 1 issues to finish 5th and 7th respectively, keeping their hopes for second place in the championship alive. Goddard even trading some paint with Will Chappell to move to an extra place late on. O'Neill couldn't be caught though, and he had his eye firmly set on the hat-trick in Race 3. He made a good start, but again it was the fighting behind him that attracted most of the attention early on. It all came to a head at the Craner Curves, where James Aspinall and Jack Harding made contact, with Will Pickens spinning in avoidance. All 3 were beached in the gravel trap and the safety car was called for. When it returned to the pits though, it didn't take long for more cars to be littering the side of the circuit, as Ray Grimes spun at the old hairpin. The lead battle raged on though, with Blake Baldwin making a significant move on O'Neill to take the lead at the chicane. Yellow flags at the old hairpin helped him to stay ahead, but Clements was able to squeeze past O'Neill into 2nd late in the going. And that was how they finished, with the champion Henderson missing out on the podium in the final race in 4th. Clements held on to 2nd in the points though, from Murphy, Goddard and Greensmith, who rounded out the top 5. And so, after 19 hard-fought races, we have a deserving champion in the shape of Alan Henderson, and his season-long battle with JJ Clements has been a joy to watch. Others such as James Blake Baldwin and Paul O'Neill have won as well, but it was Henderson who was a class above the rest all season long.